Trin asks, after I lodged my 820, I created a sponsorship application quoting the reference number and uploaded my partner's ID and citizenship. Please check there. Is it the correct way to do it? So just to reiterate, you can upload the sponsor's documents to the sponsorship form, or you can actually upload the sponsor's documents to the visa application form under the sponsor section. So there's two ways you could approach uploading sponsors' documents. I lodged my application on the 6th of April because we really need Medicare. I couldn't upload them. So this part of the question was that Trin wasn't able to upload the documents immediately after lodgement, and I said, look, that's perfectly fine and perfectly normal. I suppose it's best practice to try to upload your documents as quickly as you can after lodgement, but realistically you have until it's looked at to upload your supporting documentation. Now, you have to look at current processing averages for the visa type you're submitting to get a gauge on when that might be. But realistically, irrespective of the visa type, you definitely have a few weeks there to kind of safely, start upload your documentation. Ultimately though, the correct advice is upload as quickly as you can. Have it there because you just don't know when they're going to open the case. So to avoid any problems, just have it there as quickly as you can. But if there's, a slight delay there, if you forget, or if it's been a couple of days, don't stress, just get it up there as quickly as you can. And Trin also asked in relation to the second stage, the 801 application, how does that process work? And my response really was that once the initial application is granted, which will generally be the temporary partner visa. Now, some couples may be eligible for the approval of both the temporary and the permanent, depends on how long they were together for prior to lodgement, if they have a child as well. But let's assume you're not in the definition of kind of long-term de facto or married and you don't have a child, and you're just applying for the partner visa under the same facts as most couples. Then what's likely going to happen is they'll grant the temporary visa first, and then 2 years from the combined application, you become eligible for the permanent. So that period of approval of your temporary visa until you're eligible for the permanent, there's kind of a period there where you're not doing anything. The government aren't requesting anything of you. They're not, setting deadlines. You're just waiting to hear from them regarding the kind of opening of the permanent application process, which is around 2 years from when you submitted. So let's say that's 12 months from when the temporary partner visa is granted to when you're invited to submit the documents for your permanent application. In that 12-month period, just stay organized. Keep saving documents to your drive, to your computer, wherever it is you kind of organize your documents in the first place. And like you did for the temporary visa application, you're trying to prove the same 4 aspects. And what they want when the time comes to lodge your permanent documentation is that you've given them updated versions of what you gave them the first time, but from the approval of your temporary visa to then, to when you submit the permanent. So if you have a folder that's already organized, by the time that 2-year mark ticks over, you're ready to go. You just complete the online application form, which is almost a mirror image of the first one, and you upload the additional updated relationship evidence, and then really from there, really soon after, based on current averages, you're probably going to get a decision. Obviously, we hope for an approval, but that's more or less the process.